welcome. Today we're going to do unloading the right shoulder to follow up unloading the right hip. Last week I showed you how to take the weight off that right hip with some pin and stretching and some myofascial drags for some self-care. This week you should be feeling a little bit better, but as we said last week, as this right hip gets loaded, in a lot of cases the hip will move back into what's called flexion. The left hip will move forward into posterior rotation, and then we have this crooked hip that the left leg is slightly forward. Now, so we talked about how the hips are, if one hip is going to be a little bit back and one hip is going to be a little bit forward, it may show you in a lying position as having a shorter right leg. Sometimes it varies depending on how people work with their upper body, their waist. Sometimes a waist might transition into a position that makes a leg look shorter. I like to do my analysis as standing so that I can see the shift with people, but over time, even 3 months, just walking 3,500 steps a day will give you a mile more on that longer leg, because it's moving more than that shorter leg. So we've got a lot more overuse in the wrong area, usually down the side of the leg. So unloading that hip and releasing that deep psoas into the quadratus lumborum, down into this front attachment site, and really trying to get these hips straight every single day. This is not something you do once. This is your laundry of the day to do. Brushing your teeth, doing your unloading the right hip. So when we're in that position, the rib cage will naturally start to move to the left. And if you've ever laid in a water bed, you'll notice how your body points different directions. This shoulder has to be coming forward, so you counter strain the back of that shoulder blade. And if I had $1 for every time I tried to explain this to somebody who came in and said, I have pain right here, and I tell them it's because of, and then next thing you know, I'm just working. So this shoulder's gonna have some counter strain to it. It's not because that muscle is the problem. It's because the right hip is in a short position. But this arm, we're in here. Now look at where we are with this. This is really short. So if we start to correct the torso to come back here, this arm is still in a short position. This arm may eventually start to come back because that back muscle is functional and phasic, but this muscle here may not. So we're gonna do what we did for our kyphosis video, standing up in the shower. And you can just, like at the very end, you're gonna come into this position, and the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna bring your arm into a 90-degree angle, and you're gonna take your fingers and you're gonna grab around that pec muscle underneath it, and you're gonna move the arm back. And then you're gonna release it. Release the hand gently, and then it's gonna be pull and move the arm back. Good, and you can do this 3 times in the shower. Good, you're trying to get the undercarriage of that pec. Good, and then we're gonna take a little higher, right where that shoulder is, and we're gonna move it back behind us. Good, so we wanna go back into that stop sign and then a little bit further. Good. And keeping that arm, see how my arm is just moving into that position. Good. We want to move that back. And then we're going to take underneath the shoulder blade, hold the whole shoulder, and move the shoulder above us and bring it down. So grab the whole undercarriage and move it up. Now, if you were advanced in your anatomy, I could go into specific muscles, but generally speaking, most people are going to be able to understand, grab your chest, move the arm back, grab under the armpit, move that arm back, grab the whole shoulder blade, and then move the arm up. And that's going to get inside where pec minor is and the internal rotator cuff. It's going to get the front deltoid muscle. It's going to get the undercarriage of the shoulder blade into the teres group, and tricep, amongst a few others. But those are the big ones. We want to get those to really let go, because those are your muscles that the tricep has been overused and it's phasic, so it's probably got dense, and the undercarriage of the internal rotator and the pec has gotten short and it's postural, and it needs to be opened up and let go. So again, this is something you can do as part of unloading the right hip and unloading the right shoulder as a daily routine, so that you can keep yourself in that nice balance so that everything can work symmetrically. So at this moment, you now have 2 fantastic tools in your box to continue moving forward with a proactive lifestyle. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.